Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to day 8 of our February challenge, Share the Love. This has been so much fun so far, and it is amazing how many beautiful tangles have been created around the heart shape. So today is day number 8. Yesterday we did emo ball, and I forgot to do the shading at the end. So when we do day number 8 on our little poster, I will go back and shade that one for you as well, because I just forgot. Okay, so each day we are just doing a very basic rendition of the tangle. So we're not shading it or adding embellishments, we're just drawing the tangle, and then we're adding it to a poster when we are done with this, and we're adding some red and some embellishments and gold and making it beautiful. So if you are following along and you would like to download the printouts, they are available in the description underneath this video, or you can just do this in your sketchbook. Okay, so let's get started. Grab my black pen and zoom in. All right, so today is February 8th. And this one is called Hearts Aligned. And I'm not going to pronounce this name because I will probably say it wrong. And I'm not sure if they're a CZT or not. Okay, Hearts Aligned. So this one is a border tangle. I mean, you could do it as a mono tangle by itself, but it looks really beautiful as a border tangle. So I'm just going to put in this slightly curved line there. And then I'm going to put in some hearts, and I think I want to start up here at the top. Just sort of finish off that top part with a heart. If you made your line go all the way to the end, it's okay. We're just going to leave a little bit of space and then add the next heart. And if you would like to leave it open like this, you can. In fact, I'll just leave that one as a cute little example. They don't have to be colored in. Okay, once you get all of your hearts in a row, then we add auras coming out from the top and down to the bottom. So it's like kind of an aura, but it also touches there and touches there. I did that wrong. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one. I'm like, that doesn't quite look right to me. Okay, so actually the aura starts up here and comes down to the next heart. There we go, that's correct. Up and down. See, we just made our own little embellishment. And I'm going to do it again and again. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, I'm going to go to the next one. So now when I jump up, I'm just going to go all the way down to the next heart. 1, 2. 1, 2. And you can make those as wide or as narrow as you want, and you can make the bottom kind of straight, or you can make it sort of curling in a little bit, curving in. 1, 2. See that when I curved in a little bit more at the bottom. All the way down to the next heart. Don't make the mistake that I did. And this one down here, we're just going to imagine where it's going to go. Okay, look how cool that looks. All right, and then to embellish this, she does this beautiful thing where off the top she adds a little bit of fescue. Which if you don't want to embellish the top, you don't have to. And then one of the things that she did was to put in these really thin little curved lines. So we start here at the top and we just follow that down so light with our pen. So that's kind of a fun embellishment. And you also could embellish the outside edges if you wanted to. So if you wanted to do this by itself, you could just do a cute little heart. And then when you aura it, just make that aura go way down. And you could put in some cute little fescue. So it's pretty even just by itself. Maybe I'll put some little dots in here just as a reminder of the fact that you can embellish the outer edges if you want. And maybe in here I'll put a couple of little dots coming down. So pretty. All right, hearts aligned. Let's go to our poster. All right, here is our beautiful poster. Let me zoom out a tiny bit so you can see it. So we've got day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 maybe? I don't know, we've done 7 days. It looks so cool. I love the gold, I love the red. It's looking great. Okay, so we're going to do this hearts aligned, and I'm thinking that I want to do mine on this outer edge right here. Okay, so I'm going to turn my paper a little bit, and I'm going to put in some hearts. Now it depends, it's up to me how many hearts I want to do. If I can do really tiny ones and do a whole bunch of them, or I could just plan like maybe 5 or 6. So it's up to you. And think about your auras. If your auras are going to be so big they're bumping into all of this, which is okay, or if you want to keep your auras a little bit smaller. So I'm going to zoom in. All right, so I'm going to put my first heart right here. And I'm just going to go right over that gold line. And I'm going to color mine in. Like that. Do the next one here. And I'm going to really like dip down because that line is kind of thick that I made on the poster. So I want to make sure it looks like a heart. So I'm just dipping that center part down a little bit more than I normally would. And I love that with the Sakura gold, you can just go right over it with the black. If you want to leave any reflections, you can, or we can put those in gold afterwards. 1, 2, 3, I think I'm going to do 2 more. Okay, how is yours looking? Peek at all those, make sure they look the way that you want. Okay, I'm going to do my auras in black. If you would like to switch to red now, go ahead. All right, so remember, we're going to start at the top of the first heart, and we're going to make this little line come down to the top of the next heart. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to bump out and come down. Bump out and come down. And I'm going right into that little dip at the top of the next heart. Now this next one I'm going to purposely make kind of wide and wavy. And don't worry if your lines cross the one above it. Oh, that last one I don't love. I made that really thin. I'm going to add another aura to it. We're just going to pretend that that's what I meant to do. So I feel like so far we've had some very delicate, very intricate little patterns. This leaf one down here was a little bit larger, and now this one is also a little bit larger. And it looks very out of place right now. It doesn't look as delicate and beautiful as these, so it's our job to make sure it looks beautiful and elegant by the time we are finished. I'm going to zoom back in a little bit here. Okay. So let's do some fun things. Let's take our red and on this first one here, instead of doing those little S shapes like we did before, I'm going to come off the hearts and just put these little curves over to the edges. So I'm just going from the heart to the edge with a little bit of a curved line. The next one, I'm going to put stripes in the outer ring. And again, very thin and delicate and gentle. See how much better it's already looking? And I think I'm just going to repeat my pattern. So on this next one, I'm going to go from the heart out to that first edge, keeping those lines pretty close to each other. And the next one, I'm going to do the outer edge again. Feel free to do anything you want on these. the last one, I'm going to go from the heart to the edge. It's already looking better. Okay, I'm going to go to the ones that have the white center. We've got 2 of those. And I'm going to do an aura of the black heart with my red pen. And then I'm going to ink in that outer edge, but I'm going to leave a little space like a reflection and then continue around. Do you see that? Do the same thing on this side. I'm going to color it in and I'm going to leave a little space for a reflection. Same thing on this one. I'm going to go up a little bit, leave a space, and continue. Just adding some details. All right, I'm going to go back to this first one here, and just to make this look a little bit fancier, we're going to put some little tiny bumps, almost like lace, all the way around that outside. We are just embellishing now, so if there's any part of this that you don't really like, then just don't do it. Do whatever you want. Look how cute that is. Do the same thing on this one down here that has that white outer edge. And the same thing on the bottom one. See that little mistake that I first made here? You can't even tell anymore. All right, I'm going to go back to my black pen for a minute. And I want to put in that cute little embellishment that she did off of the top. So I'm going to leave this kind of clear so that I can maybe add some patterns in there later. I might let one crisscross over it, but the other ones I just want to come out nice and long. See, I let that one cross over. You can really curve these however you want. Do some short ones. Then I'm going to take my red pen and I'm going to do a couple in between those, and they can be a little longer or a little shorter. And with my red pen, I'm going to put some dots as little embellishments. Kind of looks like fireworks. Maybe you want your little dots to be tiny red hearts. That would be cute too. When I'm making teeny tiny hearts, I'm going to show you what I do. Zoom in for a second. Okay. So if I'm making a teeny tiny one, I make like this little teardrop shape, and then I make the teardrop shape over here. Otherwise, sometimes trying to make a tiny one ends up looking like a circle. So a little teardrop shape and then a teardrop shape on that side. I mean, you all know how to make hearts, but that's just my little trick. All right, so I don't really want this whole thing to have too many like embellishments coming out of it. So maybe I'll just do a couple little ones, a little more subtle than that top part. And a couple of dots. Some tiny little hearts hanging around. I'm going to grab my gold pen, make sure it's working, and I'm going to put these little reflections. Can you see that? Look how pretty that is. A little curve and a dot, curve and a dot. If you want to add some little gold, okay, mine's drying out here. You can add some little gold dots on the outside. So pretty. All right, I'm going to put my cap on, and I keep doing this, you guys. I keep adding the gold and then going to shade. So while my gold dries, I'm going to go shade Emo Ball because I forgot to do that one yesterday. So these are really tiny. They don't need a lot of shading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the outside of each one where it overlaps another one. So this one overlaps this little guy and this guy up here. This little one overlaps up here and on the side over here. This one overlaps this way. So wherever it lays over another one, and I can take my blending tool and just sort of soften those. And then that just makes them look a little bit more like they are all stacked together in this little pile. Isn't that cute? And then I'm also going to go around the edge of my letter V where it goes over the O. I'm going to push that up and out just a little bit. So right here it goes down over the O, putting that graphite right along that gold. And what that does is gives that V a little bit of a lift as if it's going over the O. So cute. All right, let's go back and do some shading on Hearts Aligned. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to go where I added those little red lines. I'm going to go right along the inside edge of that heart and the outside edge of this little heart in the middle. So outside the little heart and then in the inside edge of this one. And then when I soften that and bring it towards the center a little bit, it gives that heart some dimension. Look at how kind of rounded that looks. Isn't that pretty? Look at that one compared to this one down here. Oh, I just love it. Okay, on this one right here, I'm going to go on the inside edge and then the inside edge on this side. Inside meaning where the lines are. Look how pretty that looks. And the same thing on this side. Back down to this one, go on that outside of that first tiny dark heart. And then on the inside edge where those little lines meet. And we're always softening it. We don't want to go outside the line that we put it against. We're pushing that towards the center of the piece. Going to trace a little line on the inside edges of these lines. And my last one. Now, some of these are really thin and don't need a lot of pushing around. There we go. Look at how that matches now. It matches that elegance. It's got a little bit of the gold in it. So pretty. I love that this is filling up already. All right, thank you so much for joining me. We will see you tomorrow for day 9. Thank you. Bye-bye.